Kris from Payne. I'm a junior here at Siena College. I'm studying finance and I'm from Salem, New York. So, what is squash? Well, squash is a fast-paced racket sport, similar to tennis, similar to racquetball, but not quite the same. There's differences in the ball. The ball that's used for squash is a rubber hollow ball, and it's not very bouncy at all until you start to heat it up. So the more you get playing, the more you get rallying, the livelier the ball gets. Now, squash is similar to tennis in that it has a racket shaped like an oval head. However, it's the perfect size. Tennis rackets are kind of wider and they weigh a little bit more, but if you notice here, like squash rackets are the size of your arm. Squash isn't a sport that just teenagers can play, just college students can play, but however, it's a sport for a lifetime. And I can say first-handedly, I've had my butt whooped by some older men, you know, judging them that they're out of shape, they can't do this and that, but when it comes down to racket skills, they just put it right to me. So it's really a sport that you can play your whole lifetime. And I think that it's best that you pick it up when you're young because you only have more time to develop. Squash for business is actually really cool too. I mean, you could travel to cities and court clubs and you play all these types of people. Squash is kind of like a mix of just like diversity. I mean, like you can see it being played in a lot of European countries, Asian countries, all around the world. And the more you get to play squash, the more you really understand that squash is unique. Not only is it a sport, but it's a healthy one. When you're burning like 600 to 1,000 calories, I think it's definitely time effective. And one of my favorite things about the squash environment, you know, when I play people that play squash and compared to other sports, I played sports in high school. But for squash, it's just different, you know, you're not playing it because you want to be the star quarterback or you want to be the star pitcher. Like, squash is an individual sport. All the power lies on you. It is a team sport, you know, you have to win 5 out of 9 matches. However, it's something that, you know, it really comes from within. I think it speaks for a lot of the players. They do it for themselves. They don't do it to try to attract girls. They don't do it to try to look sporty. They don't try to do it to become a professional. You know, a majority of the people that play it just play it to have fun. And that's where you really harness the ability to connect with people, is just to bond over a sport that they love playing. So I got here to college and I learned about squash my freshman year, and it's incredible. You know, it's not your Division I sport, it's not your Division III sport, it's actually not even a NCAA sport. It's in its own league called the CSA, the College Squash Association. And in this, there's a whole bunch of teams. We've been able to travel as a college club team to different cities, Baltimore, Boston, the cool cities, you know, that you really hear about, but you don't really get the chance to travel to unless you do with your family. So I think that a really cool part of squash here at Siena is that you get to travel, you get to go to these cities, you get to mingle with new players, you get to just talk to different people, generate ideas. And it all fits within the one common sharing of everyone just loves to play squash. As far as like Siena Squash goes, I think that I don't know whether it's me or just the team environment, but being a part of your team really just makes the whole college experience better. I can say that my bestest friends come from the squash team. We spend trips where we're traveling 8 hours at a time in a vehicle and with 7 sweaty males after you play a squash match, and it can get pretty interesting. So you really just bond with them, connect with them, and the team aspect here at Siena is just incredible. You know, it's a small campus, so we're seeing each other around all the time. Inside jokes and just little things here and there that just make every day just better, as opposed to me just playing something by myself.